Hey everyone, how are we doing today? My name is Dylan, if you didn't know that already, and thanks so much for tuning into episode 3 of my podcast, the Don't Cry Over Spilled Tea podcast. So, let's get straight into this, guys. Last episode we talked about a couple of elephants that were in the room. One of them being me that I didn't bring up, but that's a topic for another day. Um, I got the nail fixed. Guys, whenever I was sitting there editing the last episode, I could not stop looking at it. And then me and my homegirls had watched the podcast before I had uploaded it. And all I could do was stare at that fucking nail all day long, guys. Another thing that I wanted to talk about that I've been noticing a lot, my videos are popping up super super white, and guys, I know it probably looks like I'm doing that. It's not me. It's whatever is happening whenever the video is going from my camera roll over to YouTube. I These past couple of episodes, I've sat here and tried dimming the lights. I've tried warming them up. I have no idea what is going on, guys. So if anyone knows what is going on with that stuff, please let me know. I'm going to sit there and Google some shit. I'm going to sit there on my keyboard later on, Google some shit to try to figure out why it is that that's happening. Because I look crazy. I just look like two eyes and two nostrils. Crazy. But with those things out of the way, how are we liking the glam today? Guys, I was telling Good Judy that I feel, okay, we'll get into the outfit here in a second, but I feel so damn gorgeous right now, and I have no idea what it is. We both kind of made the assumption that it's the hair. I think that I'm really liking the hair being up. I like the two pieces on the side, but with the outfit, I kind of every couple of episodes, I want to sit here and kind of just like dress normal, be a little bit more cozy. And I think that's another thing that I just feel and look very comfortable right now. And I hope that's kind of like relaying to you guys through your screens. But I look fucking hot today. I feel hot. So let's go ahead and get into our first segment. Let's add some heat. All right, girls? So, first thing that I want to talk about with this segment is, did you guys see that Miss Kris Jenner had just had her 70th birthday party? I had heard a lot of things about it with who was there, um, them getting in trouble. So let's start talking about that. So Miss Facelift Kris had just had her 70th birthday, like I had just said. And one of the things that I had seen crazy was that the cops had gotten called there. So if you guys didn't see anything about it, apparently she was at that bald man Jeff Bezos' house. They had, I guess, given it to her for the birthday party. Um, but they had called the cops a couple of times. First one being that I guess like during the party itself, I guess they had a couple of performers up there, and one of them being Bruno Mars. Well, I guess but right before Bruno Mars had went up there to perform, they had gotten a noise complaint from one of the neighbors. Cause girl, they do live in a residential area, so keep the fucking noise down. But that was one time that they had gotten the cops called on them. Another time, apparently they had like fake hedges over like on the sidewalk or something like that. I guess to kind of give some more privacy on the high profile people that were going. Um, but they had gotten called because they were blocking the road. So I guess Mr. Bezos lives like right by a stop sign or something like that. And the people that were driving through the road couldn't fucking see because there were just fake bushes in the way. So they got the cops called a couple of times, but of course we don't know if they got tickets or anything like that. But even if they did, they're fucking rich. Who cares? Who cares? Um, One of the only guest of honor that I really want to fucking talk about is my queen herself. Beyonce was there with her husband, Jay-Z, and her mom, Miss Tina Knowles. Miss Tina Knowles. Well, I don't know if you guys had, like I said earlier, I don't know if you guys had seen anything about Kris Jenner's party, but it was kind of a big deal that Beyonce was there because Beyonce don't fucking go nowhere, guys. Beyonce is literally kept up in her house all the time making a fucking album. If she ain't making an album, she's performing that album at a fucking concert. The bitch don't leave her house. But she was there with her mom. Her mom looked so fucking good, guys. Like, the way that the cameras were just hitting that woman so perfectly, she literally looked like Beyonce's sister. That did not look like Beyonce's mama. But other than that, she had some of the craziest. Beyonce did. Beyonce had the craziest, like, diamond necklace on. It literally was like 3 or 4 rows of just like straight diamonds. Like, choker all the way down to her chest, diamonds. She looked too fucking good, guys. Too fucking good. But enough about Miss Kris Jenner and what was going on over there. Did you guys see that there was, I guess, like a premiere or something like that for the new Wicked? I don't know if it's a show or a movie that's coming out, but it's with Miss Cynthia and Ariana Grande. Well, as they're walking down the red carpet, guys, some crazy deranged fan had, I guess, jumped over the barricade and not tackled as in threw on the ground, but like bombarded Ariana Grande and was like grabbing all on her, hugging on her, everything like that. And like, thank God there was security there to get him away quickly. Like, he was up and at him right then and there. And something that I was seeing, because I kind of wanted to go a little bit more depth in this, whenever I was looking at it, this guy is like a known like celebrity jumper. Like, I had seen that the first time that he's ever did it before, he had it was at a Katy Perry concert. He had jumped over the stage, over the barricade, got onto the stage with Katy Perry, and was just like all over her. And you could tell how terrified this woman was. I mean, who wouldn't be terrified? These are just like random strangers that are jumping up at you. She don't fucking know him. But he had jumped up on stage and she had, I think, hugged him and then like walked away from him to create distance because she didn't know what the fuck he was going to do to her. And dude, it took so long for security to get up there and get his ass off of the stage. Another one that I had seen that he did this to was The Weeknd. The Weeknd was performing at another concert, and this motherfucker once again jumped the barricade, got on him, but unlike Katy Perry, his security was a little bit quicker and like got him off super fast. But I don't understand how this man is not on like some kind of watch list, how he's like not banned from coming to places like this. Like, dude, that's so terrifying. Imagine literally a man coming up to you out of nowhere and just like grabbing you and hugging you. Like, I think any normal person would be like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of fucking scared. Like, who is this guy? Why is he hugging me like this? Like, you would be scared too. And especially them being like super high profile people, their life is kind of fucking in danger at all times. So I hope that that man gets situated and handled because that shit is so damn crazy. Next thing that I wanted to talk about, girls. Last episode, I got a little political, guys. And I said this wasn't going to be a political podcast. But like I also said in my last podcast, I got opinions. So, something that has been going on, I want to say since basically like the beginning of Donald Trump's presidency, honestly before Donald Trump, Mr. Epstein, the world famous child sex trafficker who killed himself, they've been trying to subpoena this man's emails for the longest time and get the most information out of what this man was doing during his time of life. And one of the things that has been going on since Trump has been in office, since the first presidency, was they were trying to uncover these Epstein files because he was, I keep saying good Judies, they were good Judies, girl. They were besties for the resties. But they've been trying to subpoena emails, more so these past few months, in order to see what was going on with, obviously, Epstein and other people, but with our own president, Mr. Trump, and see how serious their relationship was. Girl, tell me why. We've only gotten a little bit of the emails. Tell me why the emails that they have uncovered with Mr. Donnie Trump was that he was given fellatio to Bill Clinton. And if you guys don't know what fellatio is, I know it's kind of like an underground word. He was given fellatio to Mr. Bill Clinton. How do y'all think Miss Hillary feels right now? Because I have been seeing so many edits of SZA's song The Weeknd with this man. And it's just like Hillary, Bill, and Donald together. And she's like, my man is your man. And I'm like, guys, how do you think Hillary feels right now? How do you think Bill feels right now? And how the fuck do you feel Donald Trump feels right now? Insane. But yeah, apparently he was given neck to Bill Clinton. and it just got exposed, guys. That's crazy. And like, obviously, I feel like nobody, as much as I as a person do not like who our president is, I feel like nobody should be outed like that, because he basically was outed. And I feel like we saw that a lot with the most recent trend on TikTok, the posting my DL. Dude, one of our sisters literally got killed over it. I don't feel like people understand the severity whenever it comes to, I mean, basically airing out people's dirty laundry. Like, let people come out whenever they want to come out. And like, maybe Donnie ain't even gay like that. Maybe he just was a kinky motherfucker. Maybe he was just a kinky motherfucker. And he was just out there doing that, being crazy on a little island. But enough of that. Enough of that, guys. Next thing I want to talk about. Did you guys see that apparently SpongeBob's coming out with a new movie? Did you see about that? I barely saw about it today, but I thought it was the funniest shit in the world, because you want to know who a guest star is. Do you guys want to know who a guest star is? You think you the shit, bitch? You're not even the fart. Miss Ice Spice Orange Afro herself is going to be not only singing on the SpongeBob movie, but I think she's even going to be guest starring as one of the fish. So Miss Ice Fish is going to be a guest star up on the next SpongeBob movie. Crazy. Are you guys going to watch it? I feel like I low-key will, because I feel like SpongeBob was one of those things that I loved so much growing up as a kid. I don't give a fuck that Ice Spice is in it, but like, new SpongeBob movie, I'm gonna watch it. I don't care if I am a 24-year-old woman. I'm gonna watch that fucking movie. All right, guys. That was our Let's Add Some Heat segment. Let's go ahead and get straight into our next segment. Let's add some sugar to that tea. First thing on topic. Did you guys see that Miss Alandria was on the cover for Harper's Bazaar? If you didn't, I need you to go and look at it. She looked absolutely gorgeous, you guys. Absolutely gorgeous. And honestly, she had a few outfits that were really good. My favorite one was the all red outfit, and I want to say she had kind of like a pixie cut type of situation going on. She looked so fucking good. And dude, I don't know if she was the one that did her makeup. I honestly doubt it, since it was a photo shoot. Whoever did her makeup, kudos to you, dude, because her blush looked so fucking good. Alandria just has such a perfect face. She has super high cheekbones. She has really skinny cheeks underneath. She has really defined eyes, really defined eyebrows, huge lips. She's just such a gorgeous woman. So I feel like having a canvas like her, you really can't fuck it up. But like, whoever did her makeup, good fucking job, guys. To throw a little bit of shade into it, though, I heard from a source from Harper's Bazaar that while it is like a very glamorous, very like, oh my gosh thing, I heard that you can just pay to be on the cover of Harper's Bazaar. You guys know that? I didn't fucking know that. Well, apparently anybody can pay in order to be a cover for Harper's Bazaar. And so I feel like it's kind of ugly, because it almost seems as if they're trying to discredit Alandria for being on the cover. But nonetheless, she was on the fucking cover of Harper's Bazaar, and she looks better than a whole bunch of celebrities that have been on it before. But yeah, apparently you can pay to just be on the cover. You don't have to be asked. You don't have to be invited. And people are kind of like in a little discourse right now, because they think that she's not, how do you say it, like, material to be on the cover of a magazine. Bitch, she looked goddamn gorgeous in it. And for anyone that thinks that she didn't belong on it, cry yourself a river. She looked too fucking good, guys. So, next topic. I feel like this podcast is low-key turning into a Bravo podcast, because that's literally all I talk about. But guys, like I told you last episode, I am obsessed with the Real Housewives franchise. Well, something that's going on right now is a little convention that they have within their little world of the Real Housewives called BravoCon. And it's where all of the Real Housewives get together. They go on panels. They talk about things. They talk about secrets, everything like that. Well, I need you guys to look at these women. These women that were going, all of them are like well into their 50s. Some of them late 40s. Some of them early 60s. These women look goddamn gorgeous. And honestly, The main one that I had seen, the main two that I had seen out of this entire BravoCon was Miss Kyle Richards and Erica Jane. Dude, Erica Jane, 52, 53 years old. That woman looks like she's in 54, I think. She's somewhere in the fucking 50s, guys. She's old. But when I tell you guys this woman looks like she's in her late 30s, she looked absolutely gorgeous in every single outfit that I saw her in. Kyle, while her outfits weren't like stunning like Erica's, the face, she just looked so good in the face, guys. Her makeup was so on point. You know who didn't look that good though? You know who didn't look that good though? If you guys watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you'll know who didn't look that fucking good. Miss Sutton Strack. Miss Sutton Strack, she looked like, she just looks, dude. Erica, 52, 53, 54. I think Sutton's like a year younger than her. Guys, Sutton looks like she could be her fucking mom. Sutton looks so old compared to all of these other women because of the way that the way that she presents herself, guys. She wears the most ugliest outfits possible. Mind you, look at what I'm wearing, guys. Look at what I'm wearing, guys. My whole entire outfit probably cost what one of her pieces of jewelry cost. But I still have an opinion. She did not look that good, guys. Meredith Marks from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, guys, she has really gone through like some TLC these past couple of years. And that woman looked absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Her face is just unbeatable, guys. It just looks so fucking good. Um, Other than that, I'm not gonna add too much sugar because I feel like it's just gonna end up as Bravo. Let's go on to our next segment. Let's add some ice. I don't know if your tea's a little bit hot. Mine's a little bit hot. So I'm going to add some ice to it today, guys. So the first thing that I want to talk about, and I want to say this not coming off as one of those tea pages, one of those little gossip pages. It's just things that I've heard, guys. I don't want this to almost sway people to think a different way about some of these things, but except for one of these topics, guys. I need y'all to think the same way as I do. But first topic that I have, Michaela Nogueira had just came out with a new lip liner or lip kit collection, and it's supposed to be a part of her Point of View beauty brand that she's created herself. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews whenever it comes to honestly all of the things that she comes out with, but for the most part, I've heard some really good things about her cleanser, her moisturizer, things like that. I've heard good things about even her like lip gloss that she has, something like that. Okay, so with these lip kits that have came out, I saw quite a few reviews and they were actually giving her flowers to them. They were giving her good kudos. They were saying that the things were really, really good. Um, one video that I did watch, it was from a woman of color though. It was from a light skinned black woman. She was trying on these shades, and while obviously people of a lighter skin tone know that they can't wear certain things, people of a middle tone skin tone don't know that they can't wear a certain thing, and people of a darker skin tone know that they can't wear certain things. Pretty much every single lip kit that she had tried on looked crazy on her. Obviously, she couldn't wear the pinker shades. It makes you look a little bit ashy. But even whenever she got to like the red kind of looked a little weird on her. She even said it herself. And you would expect a brown lipstick on a darker skin tone to look really good, right, guys? Guys, it looked like that Dubai chocolate that everybody fucking wants. It was like brownish green and it looked so crazy, you guys. And even in the TikTok that I had seen of that woman that was reviewing them, she had even said maybe it's just my skin tone. Like she tried giving Michaela the benefit of the doubt. But if a light skinned woman can't wear something like this and it look without it looking weird on her, how do you think a darker skin tone woman is going to look with this stuff? I don't think it's going to look too good. Another thing that I had seen was that, I mean, really, it's just not doing it for the girls. The girls just aren't really liking it, guys. I had seen a lot of people that were really liking it, probably paid, so they're dick riding it for a check. Kudos to them though. But another thing that I'm seeing, like the majority, is that people are really not liking these lip kits. I was seeing that they were super patchy. I was seeing that they were leaving that stringy film on people's mouths. But with that being said, I had looked at the comments. I was making sure to do some research. I had seen people saying that they're very pigmented lip glosses, and so for them to get super stringy like that, obviously they're over applying, and there's no reason for them to be over applying. There's enough pigment within those lip glosses to where they don't need to be doing all that shit. So they're almost kind of setting themselves up for failure so that they can talk shit about Michaela. You know, guys, if they wanted to be on PR, they could have just said that. Um, Enough of Michaela Noguera. Hopefully she sends me some shit. But on to the next one. Have you guys been seeing this one? This one, just like the last episode, I think this one's gonna water down you guys' eyes because it's a little bit sad. Have you guys been seeing that new trend going around where it's a group of individuals? It's usually snot-nosed kids that are doing it. It's usually badass little kids that are doing it, but they have a stranger hold a camera and they start doing a dance, something like that, and well, they double tap the screen so the camera flips and it shows the person. It almost, guys, I while I get it's a trend, while I get it's trending, while I get it's supposed to get people followers, at the expense of what? Because it seems like all they're wanting to do is make fun of people. And it's so disheartening. It's so disheartening, guys. And what I think makes it even worse is the people that make the edits of it and put sad music behind it, because it makes it even worse, you guys. But nonetheless, edit or not, it's a horrible trend, and I feel like people should stop doing it ASAP. It's going to stop anyways. It's a fucking trend. Nothing ever lasts. But like, why did this have to be something that we did, guys? Why did this have to be something that we did? And if you see anybody doing that, I hope you report those fucking TikToks ASAP. Enough about that, because that really kind of got me upset, guys. On to the next one. Said it wasn't going to be a fucking Bravo podcast, but guys, I need you guys to watch this stuff. There was a new episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I was telling one of my homegirls yesterday, if you need to start somewhere, start Salt Lake City, because that one gives you a pure description of what the Real Housewives franchise is. It's fighting, it's cattiness, and it's glamour. But apparently there was a fight with a couple of the housewives, and well, whenever they were coming back from a yacht trip that they were on, they were in the plane, and well, production doesn't have cameras rolling, so there was a humongous fight between one of the girls, Meredith Marks, and another one named Brittany. And Meredith Marks was going crazy on Brittany. And then she had her little fucking rat in the back. I know I talked shit about her last episode, if you guys remember, Miss Lisa Barlow. But her little rat in the back, just her little chihuahua, just barking in the back, yelling at Brittany too. About a fucking TikTok, guys. About a TikTok that had already been posted for weeks. And she's yelling at her about it. Get over it. Mind you, these women are 50 years old. These women are 50 years old and they're fighting over a TikTok. Come on now. But so later on in this episode, everyone kind of starts talking about it almost in a way that they're like fearful of Meredith now because of how crazy the fight was. And Meredith went to a lunch with one of the Real Housewives, and Lisa went to a lunch with another one of the housewives. And she had said, Lisa tried arguing her case. Lisa always fucking argues, you guys. Lisa always argues. But Meredith went to argue with the Mary girl and was trying to tell Mary a different story than what Mary had witnessed. And Mary even told her straight up, how are you going to tell me what I saw? How are you going to tell me that I'm wrong and I saw it? But guys, this episode was actually kind of scary, seeing them like in that kind of way and seeing how manipulative these two women can be. It kind of puts you in a perspective that like some people just really aren't meant to be good people. And some people know that they need to change, but they just do not care to change. Absolutely crazy, guys. But enough ice. Put that fucking tea in your pot or in your mugs. Let's get ready for the story time, guys. Grab your mugs. So, this story time, like I told you guys last episode, odd days are going to be horror story times. Even days are going to be normal story times. We're on an odd episode, guys. So, I want to tell you guys about the time that I was in love with a felon. All right, guys, set the scene. It had to have been, I want to say, 2021. Winter 2021. And guys, I had told this story on my TikTok the other day, and people were eating it the fuck up. So I hope it relays over here. But I had started talking to this guy around 2021, and it all started from that one little app, that's gonna be in My Kettle Whistles one later on. So get ready for it. But that one little app, Grinder, Yellow Facebook, whatever you want to call it, girl, networking site. So I had met this man. I want to say maybe like December, January 2021. Texted me. He looked hot. Whatever, whatever. We went to do what we had to do. Well, the first time that we ever met up, I want to say I had just given him head. I want to say I just gave him head. Well, after that had happened, I think I had went and picked him up, guys. So I took him back home. Ooh, Uber in the buns, guys. I'm sorry. But I think I had taken him back home, and I want to say that for a couple of months we didn't talk. And I think it was kind of a mutual thing. I really wasn't feeling him too much, and I think I had a side piece already. So I really wasn't desperate for a new situationship. And him not talking to me, I honestly couldn't tell you why he wasn't talking to me, and I really don't care. But a couple months went by. He ended up texting me again, and he was like, "Hey, like, long time no talk. Are you still interested?" And I was like, I guess, like, I'm horny. So I think we start talking, and then one day we end up finding time out of each other's schedules to where we can meet up again. Well, this time I ended up going over to his house. I went there. We weren't in my car. And yeah, we had just like kind of talked about what was going on. Like honestly, whenever I was with this guy, guys, we would actually like kind of hang out afterwards. It was like it kind of gave me a different perspective whenever I would out of like hookup culture, because it wasn't just like bang 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 get out. So yeah, we would sit there and kind of talk, and then we obviously did the deed. Well, that was, I want to say, the first time that we ever hooked up. Went on our merry little ways, and I think it ended up turning into a regular occasion. Cause I want to say probably like maybe a few days, if not a week later, um, I had ended up back over there again. So go over, we're doing our little small talks, mind you guys. Can I be vulnerable real quick? We were doing it on a twin mattress. It was on a twin mattress, guys. I felt like I was in a fucking dorm. I literally felt like I was fucking somebody in a dorm, and their frat dorm mate was gonna come in at any moment. Um, so doing it on a twin bed struggles, guys. Um, and I remember this second time that we had hooked up. I remember hearing like some kind of ringing noise. Mind you, you guys all know what an iPhone sounds like. So whenever I tell you guys, I heard this ring and I knew it wasn't my phone because it didn't sound like an iPhone, and he had an Android. So I was like, ooh, this sounds like an Android phone. So I was like, your phone's ringing. Are you gonna get that? Because while we were hooking up and it started ringing, he kind of like stopped and almost seemed like he was like kind of occupied. So I was like, are you gonna handle that, or can you turn it off at least? And he was like, it's my ankle monitor. Guys, how did I miss that the first time that whenever I sucked his dick? How did I miss that the first time that we had hooked up? And I'm barely knowing that this man was on a fucking ankle monitor. Gag, gag. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, could I tell you why it was going off?" No, I couldn't. Like maybe it was getting too wet, girl. I don't know. But so for him taking as long as he did to kind of like answer it or like shut it off or something like that, his PO got called. So his PO ended up calling him and was like, "What's going on?" He was like, "Honestly, I don't know. I don't know why it's going off." So he was like, "All right, well, I'll be over there in like 10, 15 minutes. We got to get this nut and go." So we do our deed because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be here if this PO pulls up. Mind you, I don't know if I could be there. So I was like, I need to get the fuck out because I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble or not. So we do our deed and I leave. Why do I pass a cop whenever I'm leaving, guys? And he kind of like did a look at me, like almost like because he knew that I was coming from that direction. Ooh, he almost caught me, girls. He almost caught me. So I ended up leaving, and I think that I didn't talk to him for like a couple of months after that because I was kind of scared. Like I was like, "Bitch, you got too many issues going on. I need you to figure that out and not involve me in it." So I think after a couple of months, I kind of stopped being a little puss, and I end up going back. So we of course hook up again, and like I told you, small talk afterwards. So I ended up asking him like, "Why did you go to jail? What was up with that?" Well, guys, obviously, like, you do the crime, you pay the time. But you know how Texas has all their super, super strict laws whenever it comes to like certain drugs. So apparently, him and some of his friends were out in Dallas and they had gotten pulled over because they were speeding on the freeway. Well, whenever they had gotten pulled over, obviously a white cop, and oh, forgot to tell you guys, it's only because it makes sense within the story, but he was a black man. So obviously, white cop, black man, not a good combo, guys. So it was a lot of African American guys that were in the car, like three. I don't know why I said a lot. It was three guys that were in the car, and well, he pulls all of them out under the assumption that he needs to search the car. And so whenever he searches the car, he finds like a little baggie of weed. We know that that's not that serious, guys, but Texas thinks it is. So, well, the cop ends up asking whose it is, and none of them are ratting each other out. So he was like, okay, here's an ultimatum. Either you tell me whose it is, or all of you guys go to jail. Well, baby, mama didn't raise no snitch in that situation. So all of them got booked and went to jail. So it was a petty crime. It wasn't like something super. He didn't kill somebody. He wasn't drinking or driving. He just had a little bit of weed, girl. So whenever I heard that, it kind of gave me a different perspective in him. I was kind of like, oh, okay, like it's you. He really didn't do that big of a crime. So I kind of like stayed around. So yeah, few hookups went by later, nothing different. Like it was just the normal. And finally, it was one of the last times that we I had ever went over to his house, and I think we this had spanned it probably well over a year, guys. One of the last times that I went, I couldn't go during the day for some reason, but he told me to come in the night. Well, let me let you guys in on a little bit of insight. That wasn't his house that he was living at. It was his mother's house because he was in the military, went to jail, had to come back here because he had to have like a set place to do the probation at, I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm not a felon. So, um I had went over later on that day, had to be quiet because his mom was home. And so instead of us fucking in that dorm room on the twin mattress, he ends up taking me to a room that's like right beside his room. Hey, baby, we made it out of the fucking hood that night because it was a queen bed. I could roll around. So we were in that other room, and that other room I think had a lock on it, which his didn't. That might be why he honestly brought me to the other one, because that one had a lock on it. But so we're in that one, we do our deed. Well, while we're like mid doing the deed, we hear the door jingling. Crazy, girl, it's jingling like crazy. And so he obviously like asks like, what, like, what do you want, girl? His nosy ass mama, his mom was like, I need a book that's in there. What are you doing in there? I need a book. And so he was like, what do you need a fucking book for, girl? You're going to bed. Like, you don't read stories at night. What do you need a book for? And she was like, I need it for like a meeting that I'm going to in 2 days. And he was like, I'll look for the book in a minute. You don't need that book right now, girl. Leave. You know that she knew that somebody was in that damn house, and she wanted to be nosy. And bless her heart, because I feel like if she were to have saw me, she would have had a heart attack on the spot. I'm glad that door had a fucking lock on it that day. But after that, I want to say we just kind of like, I stopped talking to him. I think that he had gotten off of his monitor by that point and he was working more. So I was like, oh, okay, you're not paying as much attention to me. I'm going to kind of like leave the situation before I start feeling a type of way, because I start catching feelings kind of quick, guys. So yeah, we stopped talking probably like May-ish, June. Why does everything always happen to me like May, June? We stopped talking maybe like May, June. And for my birthday, I had texted him, girl. I think I was just horny or something like that. So I ended up texting him, but I wasn't like, hey, feed me dick. I wasn't like that. I started off kind of normal because we kind of like created a friendship. So I was just like, hey, hope you're doing okay. Hope everything's going good for you. And we've done that a couple of times. So I just thought it was just like those other times where we just check in on each other. And then I could slip in, girl. Let me suck your dick. Let me suck your dick, girl. So he ends up responding kind of quick. And he was just like, hey, everything's really going good for me. Like, thanks for checking in on me. I hope everything's going good for you too. And so I was like, yes, I'm in, girls. And so I had responded and was just like, yeah, if you ever want to like meet up another day, like obviously we know what to do. But I was like, if you ever want to meet up one day, like just let me know. I'm pretty much always free. And so he was like, Well, I've actually turned over a new leaf in life and I no longer do that stuff. And I was like, do what stuff? Do what stuff? Butt stuff? Like, be a little bit more Pacific. So he was just like, oh, well, I'm not like, I really don't like get into like the homosexual stuff anymore. Like, I've turned over to God. You lost me there, guys. And not because he turned over to God, but like, usually whenever people say stuff like that, they're like getting brainwashed or they're scared of who they really are. So I was like, oh, okay, respect to you. If you want to get brainwashed and be afraid of who you are, then by all means be my guest. We won't interact with each other again. So I had told him like, all right, let me know whenever you want to drop some dick again. And I was hoping that would be the last. I was hoping he wouldn't respond to me. Why, guys? Make sure you're sitting down. Make sure you're sitting down. Put your mug down. Why does this man respond to me and say, "Oh yeah, well if you ever want to have like Bible study or something like that, like just let me know and we can hang out." Bible study? Bible study, guys, Bible study. Who the fuck in their right mind is going to talk to an old lover that they haven't talked to in 2 months, and then your response is going to be, well, you can come over and have Bible study. No, no. Oh my gosh, guys. Whenever he said that, I got the biggest ick. And not because it's Bible study or anything, guys. Like, this man just used to drop dick in me. Why the fuck would I go over there for some Bible study? Be so fucking for real and go touch grass. But yeah, I think the last time that I had texted him, guys, was maybe like 2023, 2023, 2022, something like that. But yeah, I had tried looking him up one day because I'm a fucking stalker, guys. I'm a stalker. If you guys ever need anybody found, I'll find him. So found him, found his mom, found his sister, found everyone, trying to see if he was in a relationship or anything like that. Because I knew that at one point he was talking like some like, oh guys, and by all means, one of the in another episode later on down the line, you'll hear this again. But my kettle whistles when you'll get an early one today. My kettle whistles whenever gay men compare themselves to women. I don't like it. I don't like it, guys. But, and whenever I tell you guys what his old girlfriend used to look like, hold my hand with it. So she was just like a typical like white trash, like trailer trashy woman. So like she obviously wasn't me. And I obviously didn't look like this when I was going over to this man's house, but she wasn't me. She wasn't me. And whenever I say she wasn't me, I was just kind of like, how did you go from me, like a Hispanic individual, to you're with Trish and her single wide that she pays $2.99 a month for and don't have electricity in. Oh my gosh, guys! But whenever I had looked at his Facebook account like a while back, I didn't see anything, so I don't know if he's with anyone. I don't know if he's alive, guys. I hope he is, but yeah, that was my story time. Once again, if you guys have any story times that you want showcased on the podcast, send them in. Let me know, anonymous or not. So, with the grab your mugs, let's go ahead and make a new pot of tea. Get your kettles, put it on the burner, put it on high, because I'm about to let you guys know what my kettle whistles for. So, first thing that my kettle whistles for is gonna be, and I feel like a lot of people are going to agree with me, guys. I cannot stand whenever I get a phone call. And mind you guys, I hate being on the phone. I hate getting called. I hate getting FaceTimed. I hate it. Anything and everything can be sent in a text in my eyes. And I get sometimes whenever you call or FaceTime, it's for urgency. I send it in a text, girl. But my kettle whistles when you get on the phone with your homegirl. You get on the phone with your mom. You get on the phone with your sibling. You get on the phone with the dog. And they proceed to ask you a one-line sentenced question. And you answer that question, and then either and this is on a good day, guys, either the phone call drops right then and there and you can get a little bit agitated, but you're off of the phone now, or it turns into an entire conversation. Guys, if you have to ask a simple question, send it in a text. Send it in a text. If you have to ask a question, get an answer, and then ask another question, send it in a text. Send it in a text, girl. Anything and everything can be sent in a text. Next thing that I want to talk about My kettle whistles when, and this kind of correlates with the last one that we talked about. I am a napper girl. I'm a napper connoisseur. I am a napper entrepreneur. I love to nap, girl. Love to nap. I can barely fall asleep in it, but I love to close my eyes. I love to lay in my bed and close my eyes and set a timer like I'm going to go to sleep, girls. I hate, though, when I finally get a good day where I actually take a nap. And, girl, whenever I get to actually take a nap, them things run for hours. Hours, girl. I hate whenever I get to finally take a nap and all I feel, because I'm not a ringer on girl, I'm a silent mode, period. Always on silent mode. I hate when I get woken up from my nap to my rose toy of a phone going off the chain. Off the chain. The group chat's going off, girl. My emails for Sephora are going off. My account got hacked in some on Instagram, girl, and then I got a FaceTime from Good Judy. From Good Judy, guys. If you remember her from last episode, you know who I'm talking about. When I get a FaceTime call from Good Judy, and all it is this, guys. And he's gotten better, guys. He's gotten better. This is what it is most of the time. You answer the FaceTime. It's pitch black in here. Pitch black in here. Mama can only go to sleep pitch black, dark, and cold. Pitch black on my end. All I see, answer the FaceTime call. You know how it goes. Opens up, and all I see is this. All I see is that for about 10 to 15 seconds. Then he goes, "What are you doing? Hey. What are you doing?" Bitch, I was slaying dragons in my dream in the nap. What do you want? What do you want? I was taking a nap. Oh. Well, I had a question. Simplest fucking question, guys. Simplest. What time are we going to the gym? What time are we going to the gym? Mind you, I'm still in REM. I'm still in my REM cycle. I'm looking at him, but I see a zombie behind him. I'm still in a dream. Oh, guys, I cannot deal. Mind you, I can be a do not disturb girl, and I feel like if I'm a do not disturb girl, Good Judy respects it. Good Judy won't call. But sometimes Good Judy just doesn't think, and Good Judy will call 4 times, so the do not disturb gets broken through, and I'll FaceTime. And then so I'll be like, "Whoa, I'll go to the gym in an hour. Let me sleep." Okay. And then hangs up. And then I can't go back to sleep, guys. Once I'm awake, I'm awake. Can't go back to sleep, guys. So I'm pissed. But guys, I'll still answer him sometimes. Bless his heart. So, on to the last thing that my kettle was for, guys. I feel like this episode's going to be a little bit shorter, but we got straight to the point for everything. Straight to the point for everything, guys. Last thing, and this will be something that I kind of extend. Okay, just told you guys a little bit about that little yellow app where we network and find new business partners. Grinder. My kettle whistles when, and it's in my bio. It's in my bio, guys. On that app, do not text me without a face pic. If you text me without a face, because there's nothing but DL married men, DL ugly men, DL cute men, nothing but DL men on there. And the only ones that have a face pic are the women like me, or the cross-dressing men who don't look like me, or just the conventionally attractive gay men, who are out and proud of themselves. So, like I said in my bio, send a face pic. If you text me without a face pic, I'm going to ask for a face pic. If you don't send a face pic, I'm going to block you or I'm not going to answer you. Guys, you would think that because I have a few pictures on there, you would think that after they swipe through the pictures, they would want to see my stats. Because I obviously got on there that I'm a big old bitch up there. Got my height on there, 5'11". Got my race on there. And I don't got my weight on there, though. That's one thing that I don't got on there, girl. You could be surprised whenever I get there. You'll see all this body. And you'll take it for what it is. So, but whenever you scroll down to see all that shit, you see the bio. You see that. Another thing that you see on there is if you are married, go text your wife and not me. Because one thing I won't... girl, don't get mad at me for this. One thing I won't do is break a home but I will throw a vase or two in an apartment. I will not fuck a married man because there's commitment behind it, you know? Judge me if you want, girls. Judge me if you want. We can fight in person or fight in the comments. Pick your poison. But what I won't do is I won't mess around with a married man. If there's a ring on there, that means that it's a house. You can't break a house. But when you lease an apartment, whenever you date a boy, when you date a man, all you're doing is leasing. You don't own nothing. So I'll if the door's unlocked, I might go in there, shift a picture or two. I might pick the coffee table up and put it in the balcony. I may knock your soap over. I don't give a fuck about an apartment because y'all can just split up. Y'all can just split up, guys. And if it's already not working out in the apartment stage, you definitely didn't need to be in the house stage. So like I said, in my bio, if you're married, go text your wife. Don't text me. I'm not getting into that. I'm not going to be getting beat up. Did you guys see? It had to have been a few months ago. Did you guys see whenever a man's wife had caught him with the other woman? Girl, she caught them and they were in there playing monster trucks with their vehicles. It was like a SUV, like a Yukon SUV, and it was like the little Toyota truck, and the little Toyota truck had the other woman in it, and she's trying to like drive away from the situation, and the real wife comes over, boom, T-bones her and flips her car over, guys. I don't need that to be my situation. I'm still paying off on that motherfucker. Let me get the pink slip on my car, and then you can do some shit like that. Until the payments are done, please don't hurt my car. But yeah, my bio says everything and anything that it needs to say on there to keep you away from texting me if you are not the ideal person. Okay? But like I said, they don't fucking listen. They don't ever listen. And literally, I ran into this situation today because I was bored. I wasn't looking for nothing serious because girl, not that I got out of a relationship a couple of months ago, but one of my heavy side pieces that I had been messing with for quite some time now moved. I don't know if he'll be a story time. Maybe season 2. Well, it's up for discussion. But somebody that I was talking to for quite some time now, we had stopped talking because I was kind of wanting something a little bit more. I told you guys I kind of catch feelings a little bit easy. So me and him hanging out was a little bit like the last guy from the story time. And well, once we would hook up, we would sit there, talk about our week, talk about things that we were gonna do, what's going on different, everything like that. So stopped talking to him about whenever I got my car. So like mid-August, I had did like a one last time with him and then done. Well, I want to say about a month ago, I had noticed that he was like posting on his Snap stories being in another city. And I was like, bah, like he had been there for a couple of days already, guys. Like he had been posting consistently. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's on vacation. Well, those couple of days of posting in that city turned into about a week in that city. And so I was like, damn, this man had a shit ton of PTO from his job and he went to guys, it was Austin. He went to Austin. And I was like, damn, he's just having the time of his life up in Austin, going up and down 6th Street, maybe 4th Street. But I had ended up texting him because it was just in the back of my mind, like text him, see like when he's coming back, even though I knew that he wasn't going to be coming back. So I texted him. I was like, hey, homegirl, when are you coming? And he was like, oh, I moved. And I was like, oh, you could have heard the heart shatter right then and there, guys. But with that being said, I haven't really been looking for anything recently because I'm kind of like still strung up on him. My delusional ass brain thinks that something's going to come out of that and that he's going to fucking move back to Odessa, Texas for me. Fucking stupid, I know, right? But so whenever I get on Grindr, I'm kind of just going on there for attention. I've always kind of went on there for attention, but like I'm really just there to kind of bully men. And I literally ran into this guy today who had told me like, "Oh, send me a face picture." And I was like, "Bitch, you texted me first." Mind you guys, he said, "Hey." I said, "Hi." And he said, "Face picture." Bitch, you texted me. And so I was like, you can send a picture. Send me this, guys. Lips down. Baby, where's the other 3/4 at? I'm missing a huge chunk of that face, guys, and I need to see it now. So I literally was like, and the rest? And he was like, well, you can send something first. And I was like, bitch, I'm not sending anything if you aren't sending it first. You literally texted me first. And so he was like, you can send me something. And I was like, no, bitch, I'm not going to send anything. Like, you literally are wasting my time. No. So he was like, well, like, can you just send a face picture? Mind you guys, I already told you guys, my bio says send a face pic. And whenever I tell you it says send a face pic, it's not in normal lettering. It is in all caps, and it is the first thing that is on my bio. If you do not have a face picture on your profile, I'm going to ask you for one. If you don't send a face picture in your first message, I'm going to ask you for it. And they don't fucking listen, guys. They don't fucking listen. But it's an app full of men, and men don't know how to fucking listen, guys. So what are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with them? I just use them for dick. But other than that, guys, I really feel like this is going to be a really short podcast. I feel like I ran through everything super, super quickly today. And I didn't throw any mid-time story times. But with all that being said, guys, if you have any story times that you want to send in, let me know. Business emails in the description. All my socials are in the description. Everything is I am Dylan Sotelo. If you want to know anything that you might have been the asshole in, if you just want a little bit of advice from your big mama, let me know so we can go ahead and add that other segment that I'm wanting to do, the Let's Add Some Honey. With all that being said, all of this was alleged. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just here to relay. But this was Dylan Sotelo for Don't Cry Over Spilled Tea. And just like I just said, don't cry over spilled tea. Bye, guys.